You can really hear yourself.
I got one for you.
Okay, now is that in your book? Do you have the blue part in your book?
No.
Okay, go ahead and write that down. What I've started doing with second semester stuff is I went ahead and started putting some of this a little bit more in there as far as the actual problem that I'm looking for. Okay? So kind of hopefully help make things a little easier and a little bit easier to maybe like follow along too. Okay? Now if you notice over here in green, what do you think this green over here is? That's basically your step. Okay, from each line to the next. Now, the one nice thing about chapter 5 is it's just like chapter 2. Okay? The only difference is in chapter 2, you had a what? Equal sign. Okay, in chapter 5, you have what's called what? Inequalities. And there's 4 of them. Okay, you got a greater than, and does the direction important?
Yeah.
Okay. So if it's pointing to the right, it's greater than. If it's pointing to the left, it's less than. Pointing to the right with a little line, it's greater than or equal to. Good. And then less than and equal to right on top of that. Now, the way we solve these is not any different than what we've been doing. Yeah, write them down real quick. You want to spell them out too? I have a chart on here in a little bit. It'll have, I think I'll have all that. Greater, less than, greater, equal to, and then less than, equal to. Yeah, if you notice on the second page of the chart, everybody look at the second page real quick. There's a chart on it, just right behind that. Tells you what everything is, okay? Now, if you've already written, don't erase it. I wouldn't erase it. Just keep it on there. All right, so going back to what we talked about. This is not any different than how we solve it. It's just like chapter 2. Okay, the only difference is in inequality. Now, there's one extra rule that you have to remember when dealing with inequalities. Okay, if I divide or multiply by a negative number, what happens to my inequality? It's going to flip. It's going to revert. Okay, so how would I solve this one right here? Now, the first thing I want to do, where it says write the original equation, write the original inequality. Okay, that's just the same one that's up here. Then add 12 to each side. Draw my line, and then simplify means just do what? Actually do the operation, right? If I were to simplify, I'm going to cancel those out. My inequality stays in the same direction. And then that ends up being what? Okay, now what does inequalities mean? How many solutions will I have here? How many numbers can I put in for C that are going to make this a true statement? You sure?
Yeah.
Can I put 77? Is 77 greater than 77? No, 77 is what? Equal to 77. Okay? What about 78? What about 79? Can I put those numbers in for C? What about 80? What about 102? What about 1,363? Right, there you go. That's what you got to remember on inequalities is any number that's greater than 77 will work. So I have a ton of solutions, right? Okay, my solutions are anything greater than 77. Everybody clear on that? Okay, Okay, that's what that means. Okay? Okay, you may want to write this down on the side. If it is a greater than, what kind of dot do I use? If I were to graph it, I would use an open dot. Okay? For greater than or less than, I use an open dot. Greater than equal to or less than or equal to, I use a closed or shaded dot when graphing. I think there's the next one graphing, isn't it? What's the heading on the next problem? That's good, and need a little bit more time. Good? And now this is a CYP. If you want to write it down, write it down. I'm not going to work it. It's up to you to work it, but it's going to be on your CYP. Okay? May want to make a note in your notes. CYP, example 1, CYP, and then write the problem down. It's up to you to work it. Okay? Everybody got it? Okay? Now this is a problem like you might see in your, I don't know if this is in your notes. Yeah. This is a standardized test example, okay? What they'll basically ask you is, if you notice, look at all your answer choices. It looks a little funny, doesn't it? Huh? Yeah. What I want you to see is, this is probably how you're going to see it on the test. Like if you take an EOI test or an ACT test or something like that, they love putting it in what's called set notation. These little symbols right here, it's called set notation. So I don't want you to look, I don't want you to see those and say, oh, I don't know what the heck that is. All right? All it is set notation. It doesn't mean anything different, okay? It says for all values x, x has to be greater than whatever the number is. Now to solve that, I basically just do what? X plus 23, write the original inequalities, subtract 23 from both sides. And simplify it. X is greater than, or I'm sorry, less than what? Negative 9. So your answer would be A, wouldn't it? Okay. Have you seen this before, set notation? Yeah, you have. We just got done doing it. What are these? Ordered pairs. Then when you put ordered pairs in set notation, it's the same thing. Well, there's some maybe a lot of problems they use them. They use set notation. Okay. Now, but you just need to be familiar with them because that's how they're going to show them on in the book or on test. The X means for all values of X. For all values. That's how you read it. For all values of X. X is greater than 39. Okay? It says for all values of X, they have to be, the X value has to be greater than 39. That's how you read it. Okay? You see it like this a lot if you're higher, like algebra 2, algebra 3, calculus and all those, okay? But you could possibly see it on the test too. Alright? Okay, write this one down. This is example, actually this is example 2. So put this on example 2. Okay, just do it underneath it. You should have enough space. This is variables on each side. Because I did change it a little bit. This is probably how we're using it from now on. Okay, what do you notice about this one? Yeah, what else? You got some like terms, don't you? What are the like terms? 12 in and 13 in. Okay, so let's write the original inequality. Then the second step asks me to do what? Okay, so we'll subtract 12 in, both sides. Simplify it, I get what? -4 less than or equal to. Do I now? Why would you divide by 1? I can take it off, didn't I? Okay, now let's tell you this. I have to graph it, don't I? Okay, now, here's where it gets a little tricky. Okay? Notice what side my variable's on. What side is it on? It's on the right-hand side. So which direction do I graph? Sure? Okay.
Oh, you got for the arrows for it.
Now, there's a rule called, there's a direction rule. Okay? With the direction rule, though, you may want to write this down. Direction rule, I can follow the inequality. Okay? The problem is the variable has to be on the left side. The variable has to be on the left side. So now, how can I turn this around where it still says the same thing, but the variable's on the left side? I'm going to put the in over there. Now, notice it opens up to where? The end. So down here, it's got to do what? It's got to open up to the end also. Okay, and then -4 goes there. So all I've done is what? I've just turned this whole thing around. Everybody clear on that? Now can I follow the direction of the inequality? Which way is it pointing?
Right.
So which way is my graph going to go? Everybody clear on that? Okay, is it an open or closed dot? On what number? Okay, so I'm going to put a closed dot right there on -4. And then my arrow, what does that mean? Yeah, but it means, if I have an arrow here, it means all of these numbers down here are what? They're going to be solutions, aren't they? It's just another way of showing, okay? It's another way of showing what answers are going to work. Okay? So they're going to be, you're going to have to be able to do that. They're going to ask you to do that. Everybody clear on that? Okay. Everybody good there?
So why are you don't want to do it?
Because the inequality is pointing to the right. I got it? Okay, there's a CYP problem. I want to write that one down. It's going to be on your CYP. See that in there? This is what's going to be on your test. The quiz, that 15-question quiz we take. Okay. It's going to have some what? Vocabulary on there? Okay. You already got 2 problems. Okay, and then there's probably going to be 5 problems that you'll never have seen before. Okay? but you will have seen these. Okay, there's your,
With that, those two, see what you think, do they have like the graph with it? Like the
yeah,
one-
it'll have everything that you need. I've already provided that. I just want you to see the problem, in case you want to work it, get prepared for study for the test, for your quiz, and you got it. That way you're not surprised. They'll have 5 surprises, but they'll be very similar to what you just saw. Okay? There may be 1 or 2 in there where you don't have to actually think a little bit. Okay? All right. So here's your chart. This is how we read this. If it's pointing to the left, it's less than. What's another word we could use? Near that. Okay, so now you're going to have some word problems, right? Okay, so your word problems, you're going to have to identify some words and what it means and how I would write it. So know where this chart is at so you can refer back to it. Okay, if it's pointing to the right, it's greater than, or what else can we say? More than. Less than or equal to, at most, these 2 are the main ones. At most, no more than, less than, or equal to. Okay? Pointing to the right of the line, at least, no less than, greater than, or equal to. You have to be familiar with those. But it's there if you want to go back and refer to it. You'll need to. Okay, here's one. Real world example 4. Is this one in your book?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, Penny wants to buy season passes to 2 theme parks. If one season pass costs $54.99 and Penny has $100 to spend on both passes, the second pass must cost no more than what? Here it is. Okay, no more than. So go back to my previous. What is no more than?
Yeah.
Right here. It's this symbol here, right? Okay, so for me, I'm going to go ahead and get that out of the way. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get that out of the way. Okay? So then, the second season pass must cost no more than what amount? Now remember, you got 2 of them that you're adding together, right? What has she got to spend? $100. So can she go over $100? Okay, so the greatest amount that she can have is $100. Everything has to be what? Everything else has to be less than that. If she goes over $100, she won't be able to get the passes. You know, 1 pass costs how much? Okay, plus the one that we don't know. So if I add both of those together, it's got to be less than $100, correct? Okay, so there's your inequality right there. Yeah. Okay, so now how do I know, or how do I find out what X is? How much can the pass cost? Subtract what? Very good. Subtract the 54.99 from both sides. So the pass cannot cost more than what? You got to subtract these. Okay, so the second pass has got to be less than $45. Can it be 45? Yeah, I can. Can it be $45.01?
Yeah.
Can it be $45.02? No. If it costs more than that, I can't buy it. Unless you can find a penny somewhere. Is everybody clear on how that works? Okay? You notice how we found the word that we were looking for. We went back to the chart to see. Get that out of the way first. Is everybody clear on that? Okay. All right. Next one. Real world example 4.
I'm going to go grab your ticket and folder to be the buyer. Make sure when they open it, that they click on testing, not on screen. I thought they were hoping for them to open it, the screen on the screen, but they're not.
He just
You just did it?
Yeah. He just left. So he's probably already got it set up. Are you gonna be here to help me?
I have the directions for you. I mean,
Okay.
the kids took 4 of them last 9 weeks. They can pretty much run. It's one of those ones. They've done it.
I just think there's a little credit for me, so
Yeah.
I think I can get it.
Okay.
We'll try.
Okay.
Okay, Jeremiah's taking 2 of his friends out for pancakes. He spends $17.55 on their meals and has $26 to spend in total. Jeremiah's pancakes must cost no more than what amount? Which symbol do I use?
Oh.
The one we just used.
What's the
The one we just used?
Less than or equal to?
Okay, so he can't spend any more than what?
17, oh, 26.
$26 total. Okay, so what was his meal?
17.55.
Plus X. No. Plus X.
Okay, so plus X, right?
You were right. You were in the combination. Hello.
Okay, so tell me, what do I need to do?
Minus 17.55.
$8.45.
Yeah.
What do you think? Okay, go back and write your, everybody good with that? Need more time? Go back in and fill in your box, your mastery box. Yeah, the thing about, the thing that makes this easy is very similar to what you've already done, chapter 2 stuff. There's a couple minor differences that you have to pay attention to. We'll talk about those the next couple of days though. All right. Now tomorrow, you got whatever time you got left in class to work on your prayer check if you want. Okay? Tomorrow, when you come back tomorrow for this class, I'll have like a worksheet that we normally have on this stuff. Okay? That'll be your chapter 5 practice. Okay? Probably about 20, 25 questions.
Cool.
It'll be all one step problems. Okay, I gotta make it first. Okay, now, what do you need to be working on right now? Okay, go to your prayer check and work on that. The EOI question? Let me see if I can pull it up. You can probably answer that one down at the bottom by yourself.
What? I like that.
Okay? So, what's my inequality here? The car that each one wants to buy costs at least what? Okay, so what direction does my inequality need to go? Look at the chart.
Less.
This way? Is that right? Okay. Okay, now, sometimes you have to pay attention to this. You guys watch this. It tells you in the word problem that she's already got some money. She already has some of the money, doesn't she? How much does she already have? Okay, so would that be a plus or a minus? It'd be a plus, wouldn't it? She's already got a plus. Okay? So think about that. If I've already got that and I apply that towards the car, then I would subtract it from over here, wouldn't I? Okay, so we'll factor that into our equation or inequality once we write it. Okay? All right, so now she's got to make up the difference. How is she making up the difference? What's the sign to work from? Okay, so how do I factor that in? That would be what? Now, 8 what? 8 per, so 8, right? Now you can always tell sometimes in the end of the work problem is what it asks for. Okay, so what do I do here? Okay, that would be 0, 4, 1, 4. Divide that by 8. Okay, what would that be? 517. So she's got to what? She's got to work 517 hours. Okay? Well, she's got to get this amount, right? Okay, that doesn't match this, does it? Okay. Now leave the basketball one. First goal was to score at least 150 points this season. So far, she has scored 123 points. If there's one game left, how many points must she score to reach her goal? At least what? So it'd be that way, right? At least 150. So far, she scored 123.
Wouldn't it be the other way? Because it's the average.
Go back and look at your chart. I want to make sure.
At least no less than greater than 3. Yeah.
Where's my notes? At least. Right? Okay, so she's already got 123. There's one game left. How many points must she score to reach your goal? We're good. Subtract 123 from both sides. She's got to go. Now, if she scores over 27, is that okay? Sure, she's met her goal then, right? So the least amount she can score is 27 points to get to her goal. Anything less than 27, it's not going to work. Yeah. Is that on the print check? I think I got that on mine.
On the very check, you never do.
Oh, I didn't have it.
What?
Well, just add it to both sides.
Yeah.
Did you have a question? She asked, I don't know if she's, what was your, which one was that one?
Plus 3.
Go the other way.
Okay. I see. Okay.
Because if you go this way, Jason,
You still have 8. 8.
yeah, but what happens if I move that to the other side?
Everything would just be on one side.
Yeah, but what would you be left with over here?
Nothing.
It'd be 0, wouldn't it? Yeah. So, I mean, you could do it. You could do it like that. Okay, but you gotta, I think what people have a hard time understanding is that 8 and 0, are they like terms?
Yeah.
So I still have to combine them, right? So I would have to subtract 8 from both sides just to get it over there. That's the concept. Now, I can save myself a little trouble, you know, where I don't have to add an extra step to there by just doing what? Since, let's take this variable over there. So I would just add 4x. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, on your number lines, what I would do, if you notice you have to graph them, right? Okay, so on your number lines, what you need to do is you will have to include your numbers. Now, this is how I would do it. To save you a little time. This would be what on number 1? Okay, what you need to do is put 0. Okay, you need to put that on there. And then what side would 28 be on? The right side or the left side? Okay, so just put 28. I don't need to add all the numbers in between. Okay? Yeah, now, open dot is my variable on the correct side.
Yes.
Is it on the left hand side?
Yes.
So can I follow the direction rule?
Yes.
Okay, so open or close dot
That's what it was.
on 28,
About to right.
going that direction.
On number 2, would you add 8 instead?
Yeah. Now, you're gonna have a problem on that one. What are you gonna do?
There's,
You're gonna have to move the whole thing around. I can't follow the direction rule because the variable's where?
going to the right.
It's on the wrong side, isn't it? So that'd be 2. So now I gotta make that,
And, yeah, 2. Basically, you're writing it right versa.
okay, so 2 is over here, open or close dot,
Open.
go in which direction? Yes,
2, 1, 6.
maybe, I'm not gonna do all of them. I'll help get you started. Oh my.
Oh.
Well, it's, at least the denominators are what?
Same.
So do I have to do any, do I have to modify them or do anything like that?
You guys subtract them.
Okay,
So you subtract 1, 2, minus 3, 2.
No.
I give you 1, 2. So it'd be 2.
now look, understand, all these are like terms, right? Okay, so I need to move this one over there, Coach. Would you agree? Okay, so what is it right now? Is it positive or negative?
Positive.
So to move it over there, I just need to subtract it, don't I? Okay, so subtract 3 halves q from there. Now, remember, put the negative on the top number, right? Make life a little easier on it. So now all I'm subtracting here, all I'm combining here are what? The top numbers. I don't even mess with the bottom number, do I? Okay, so what's 1 combined with negative 3?
Negative.
That's negative 2, isn't it? Okay, so rewrite my equation. Negative 2 over 2 cubed. Now I can simplify it even further, couldn't I?
1.
Yeah, negative 5. Now on this one, it gets a little, notice what you have in front of your cube. So I have to divide by what? No, I got to divide by -1. So now what happens to my symbol? It's got to reverse or flip. 5 Now I need to do what with the whole thing?
You need to turn it over because
I need to turn it over, don't I? Well, because my variable's on the wrong side, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, there is positive one, so let's mark it out. Here is negative 17, and let me work that one out. Okay, you guys go back to number 4 on the front. Okay, now you added, did you add 8K? Okay, so if I add 8K, like so, right? Now what do I do? Divide by a, okay, so if I divide by a negative, like I was saying, what happens to my sign? Flips. Or reverses. Yeah, let's one step at a time, okay? And then that goes to K is less than 12. You see?
And then you go to the ground.
Right.
So basically,
Exactly. Divide by what? It has to be negative. Okay? That's the rule. If I divide or multiply by a negative number to get the variable by itself, did I divide by a negative number to get the variable by itself? Then I have to reverse the sign or flip it. Okay? Here I flipped the sign from this to this. What did I do? I just turned it over, didn't I? Okay, I understand the difference in the vocabulary. All right, don't get confused with that. Okay? Everybody's clear on that? Okay, I need you guys to do me a favor. If you see a textbook that's laying on the floor, will you pick that up and put it in the basket? And there's some on this row. Like there's an extra book right there that needs to go in this basket. And if there's an extra book, let's go ahead and set it back there on the shelf. Here's a short one. No, if it's a positive, yeah, it's legal. We just drop positive. It's only the negative.
if it's a positive, it doesn't flip
It
it.
is that math. You got to think about this. Look, anytime I multiply by a positive 1, does it change my answer? No. If I multiply by a negative 1, does it change my answer? Yeah, it changes it from a positive to a negative. Does that make sense? Yeah, or vice versa. So that's what you have to take into consideration. If I divide or multiply by a positive 1, it's not going to change anything about my answer. So I can go ahead and do it, and there's no point in doing it because it's not going to change. I can just drop it. Okay? All right. When you guys leave, make sure those desks get, do me another, let's go ahead and these blue clickers, let's pick those up and put them in the bag. We've got to do the ACT test
You remember the first first using these like the fourth grade.
Oh my God. That's not
With
like
sham half beat.
That's not like
It's like so cool.
we live shit. It's horrible.
It's great.
And then, if you get a chance, do me a favor. Need laptops on all these desks going that way. Set them on top of the desk, if you would.
You're in my file.
Start with one, put one up there. And they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. No, start on that one. Why don't you go over there?
So you want to go down each row?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Taking this ACT test.
I got 3, 4, 5. Because I'm a professional.
How you say? Calculate. Put one on my desk and then grab that one instead of.